And this is my presentation. The growth of learning. Before I get started, I want to just give a quick introduction. Over the past decade, and especially after COVID-19, online learning has rapidly expanded across all educational levels. However, simply moving content online does not guarantee effective learning. This is why pedagogical frameworks are essential. They help educators design meaningful, engaging, and structured learning experiences. Today, I will be discussing two foundational frameworks in online education: Moore's transactional distance theory and the community of inquiry model. I will explain their key components, provide real classroom examples, and discuss how they inform our teaching practices today. What is transactional distance? Transactional distance does not refer to physical separation, but rather the psychological and communication space between learners and instructors. Even in a Zoom classroom, students can feel distant if interaction is low or instruction is rigid. This concept is critical because it directly impacts student engagement, motivation, and overall learning success. Core variables. Moore identifies three key variables that determine transactional distance. Dialogue refers to meaningful interaction between teacher and student, not just talking but responsive communication. Structure refers to how the course is designed. Highly structured courses are rigid, while flexible ones allow adaptation. Learner autonomy refers to the student's ability to take responsibility for their learning. These three variables work together dynamically. As you can see, I have the four circles: dialogue, structure, learner autonomy, and learner autonomy for both. Moore's transactional distance theory emphasizes three core variables. As you can see on the slide, these are all crucial for effective online learning experiences. Now, interrelation of core variables. The relationship between dialogue, structure, and learner autonomy is crucial. High dialogue reduces transactional distance, while increased structure can create a barrier, making learner autonomy essential in online environments. The relationship between these variables is what makes this theory powerful. When dialogue is high, transactional distance decreases because students feel supported. However, when structure is too rigid and dialogue is low, students may feel disconnected, as I said previously. In those cases, learners must rely more on autonomy to succeed. This balance is especially important in online environments. High dialogue equals lower transactional distance. High structure equals higher transactional distance. High autonomy needed when dialogue is low. Implications for educators. So, educators should prioritize interaction in their course designs, balance structure and flexibility, support learner independence, and differentiate instruction to accommodate diverse learning needs for effective online education. For example, live interactive lessons, flexible tasks, choice boards, games, student-led participation. In my KG1 classroom, as I've been living in Dubai, during distance learning, I applied this theory without even realizing it at first. I used live interactive sessions to increase dialogue, interactive games, etc. Due to my students being 4 and 5 years old, you really have to get their attention. So just speaking and a lot of teacher talk will not work. This allows students to respond, share, and engage. It makes it fun. It gets them engaged and wanting them to share. I also provided flexible activities like choice boards and interactive games, reducing rigid structure. This allowed even young learners to develop autonomy by choosing activities and completing the tasks independently. This also helps parents as well. It gives them a choice. Like I said with the choice board, all of the activities are meaningful, but with them having a choice, sometimes it prompts the learners to want to do it even more. It's like a trick, honestly. Community of inquiry model. Now we're going to dive into this. Implications for teaching. This theory has major implications of teaching. First, online courses must prioritize interaction, not just content delivery. Second, teachers must balance structure and flexibility depending on student needs. Third, students must be supported in developing independence, especially in online settings where direct supervision is limited. Moore's theory is still highly relevant today, but it needs to evolve with technology. Digital tools like live video, interactive platforms, and instant feedback systems significantly reduce transactional distance. However, modern online learning also requires attention to emotional engagement and cultural responsiveness, areas not originally emphasized in theory. So, like I said, now let's dive deep into community of inquiry intro. All right. So, this is developed by Garrison, Anderson, and Archer. Focus is meaningful learning through community. Three presences: social, cognitive, and teaching. While more focuses on distance, the community of inquiry model focuses on connection. It emphasizes that effective learning happens when students feel part of a learning community. This model is built on three presences that work together. Now let's dive deep into it. So, social presence. Feeling connected, building relationships, and open communication. Social presence refers to the ability of learners to feel socially and emotionally connected. In online learning, this is critical because students can easily feel isolated. Simple strategies like discussions, turn and talk, and personal sharing helps build this presence. Now, cognitive presence. Critical thinking, meaning making, inquiry-based learning. Cognitive presence is about deep learning, students' instruction, meaning through reflection and inquiry. This includes questioning, problem solving, and applying knowledge. Without cognitive presence, learning becomes a surface level. Teaching presence. Instructional design, facilitation, and feedback. Teaching presence is the role of the teacher in designing, guiding, and supporting learning. This includes structuring lessons, facilitating discussions, and providing feedback. In online environments, teaching presence is what keeps everything organized and meaningful. As you can see on here, social presence fosters connections among learners, creating a sense of community and belonging. This interaction enhances communications, reduces feelings of isolation, and promotes a supportive learning environment. Cognitive presence. Cognitive presence encourages critical thinking and inquiry-based learning. It involves reflection and problem-solving activities, which engages learning intellectually and deepen their understandings of course content. Teaching presence. Teaching presence involves effective instructional design and facilitation of discussions. It includes providing timely feedback and guiding learners through content, ensuring a structured and supportive learning experience. The importance of social presence. All right. Social presence fosters meaningful connections among learners, right? Encouraging open communication and collaboration, it reduces feelings of isolation, creating a safe and supportive environment essential for effective online education. Understanding cognitive presence in online learning. Cognitive presence is essential for fostering inquiry-based learning and critical thinking. It encourages reflection and problem solving, allowing learners to deepen their understanding and make meaningful connections within the content. Understanding teaching presence. Teaching presence encompasses effective instructional design, facilitating meaningful discussion, providing timely feedback, and guiding learners through diverse content, which is essential for engaging online educational experiences. Now, let's get into comparing two educational frameworks. Are you ready? All right. How they work together. Social, cognitive, and teaching, deep learning. Independent relationship. These three presences are not separate, they work together. For example, strong teaching presence supports cognitive engagement while social presence encourages participation. When all three are present, students are experiencing meaningful and sustained learning. For a classroom example. So, in my classroom, I build social presence through discussion and sharing activities. I promote cognitive presence by asking higher order thinking questions and using interactive tasks like centers. And I maintain teaching presence through structured lessons and clear expectations. Now, implications for teaching: build community intentionally, encourage collaboration, promote inquiry, and make the teacher a facilitator. This model shows that learning is social. Teachers must intentionally create opportunities for collaboration and interaction. Rather than just delivering content, teachers act as facilitators of online experience and learning experiences. Teachers should not just take full of a student's learning. They need time to think critically, and work together. So, modifications. Researchers have suggested expanding the model to include emotional presence, which addresses student well being, and technological presence, which focuses on access and digital tools. Cultural presence is also very important to ensure inclusivity in diverse and learning environments. All students need to be exposed to this. They need to expand their minds internationally diverse. It could even be with students of determination, things as such. So now let's compare the frameworks. More versus COL. Distance versus community, individual versus collaborative, structure versus presence. Moore's theory focuses on managing distance, while the community of inquiry focuses on building connection. Together, they provide a comprehensive understanding of online learning. Conclusion: embrace frameworks for effective learning. In conclusion, both frameworks remain highly relevant in today's digital marketing learning environment. Moore reminds us to reduce distance through interaction, while the community of inquiry reminds us to build meaningful learning communities. Together, they highlight that effective online learning is not just about technology, but about connection, structure, and engagement. All right, so these are just some discussion topics. If you want to drop down in my chat, or if you want to write something at the bottom of my website, I will allow a chat box to answer these questions if you would like. Is more still fully applicable today? What new presence is needed? And how can we reduce distance in online learning? I would love for you guys to interact with these questions in the chat box on my website. Or also in the comment box for my discussion post on my assignment. I really enjoyed talking about this and educating even myself on this. So I hope this was educational and a good outlook from my end. Feel free to comment anything. I am open to any suggestions or just any opinions. Thank you.